Why hello, and welcome back. How's everyone holding up? How's everyone doing? I think this video is just going to be pretty casual. I just did this simple scrap therapy entry the other day, and I just wanted to capture the process and just kind of have a little bit of a chat on voiceover while we watch. Just kind of a check-in, maybe see how you guys are doing and kind of share some things that I've experienced and some feelings that I'm having currently. I'll go ahead and start off with explaining the pictures that I'm putting in this spread. The top one is of my husband and my little girl, and we broke free from the house. Not for a great reason. Our dishwasher broke and started leaking all over the kitchen floor, and we didn't discover it until it came up above 2 layers of floor. So it had completely destroyed our floor. Some of our cabinets were wet, and so we were worried about damage happening there. So we went to David's work to get some fans that could kind of just air everything out so that we have the best possible chance of no damage, which seemed to work really good. It doesn't seem like we have any damage besides the floors that we had to pull up, which royally sucks. But it did get us out of the house, which was nice. We kind of just busted a trip to David's work, and then we went to Chick-fil-A for lunch, which I had been craving for a long time. So that was really fun. And it was just like us making the most out of a really crappy situation. Another really fun thing that happened was, you can see that we're in this parking lot. By the background, there's absolutely no one in the parking lot. It's just totally dead. And so David let Reagan kind of like pretend drive the car, and she found that to be the coolest thing that has ever happened to her. And so that was really sweet as well. So I wanted to remember it. I wanted to kind of document that day and kind of just the special moments that we had together. Because honestly, we felt really broken down, I think, by this point, from like the quarantine and the damage done to our floors and having our dishwasher just totally broken. I mean, we're gonna have to get a new one. So I think we kind of were at a little bit of a personal low. But it ended up being kind of a nice day. And so I also documented this picture below it, which is just of my daughter kind of curling up next to me, and she let me kind of like tickle her back and just like play with her hair, which she really never does, but she's kind of been more inclined to do since this quarantine. I think that she might be a little needy for just like personal contact, I guess. Like, she's never been a cuddler and never wanted to kind of like just cozy up. It's just not in her DNA. And she definitely does not get that from me. I love cuddling, and I'm always trying to like, just love on her, and she's just kind of too busy for it. So I was absolutely loving that situation. It felt really good to get out and not have to worry about daily chores or really taking care of anyone, and just kind of be a little bit free for once in a while. And I found that something that I've really been struggling with during all of this is just being needed 24/7. And I know that as a mom, that's kind of your life. It's not just when you're quarantined, but something about being quarantined and not having opportunities to kind of break away just for those little bits like I usually can has made it a little more intense, a little bit harder. a little more challenging. There's something about being a full-time, always on the clock caregiver that really teaches you something about service. What it also can teach you is how selfish you might be, which is, in my case, very selfish at times. Recently, I was reading a talk given by a woman named Karen Rose Merkley, and she talked about the struggles of being a mom and of constantly needing to care for her 2 little ones and just the heaviness that she was feeling from that. Then she talks about how she was reading in Matthew the account of Christ feeding the 5,000, and she saw how it related to mothering and was comforted by that. Sometimes it's easy for us to forget that Jesus has gone through all of our trials and gone through everything that is hard in our life. I want to read a little bit of her talk because I found it really comforting and sweet. She says, "As I basked in the impact of these verses, I pondered how Jesus, disregarding tiredness and the late hour, lovingly directed the setting down of a meal for his followers, putting their need for refreshment above his own. I found myself recalling times when, exhausted from caring for sick children and keeping up a busy household, I nevertheless shuffled into the kitchen and lovingly prepared dinner for my working husband. I was suddenly filled with a feeling of the Savior's awareness and gentle approval of my own simple, yet sometimes uneven expressions of love. And then it occurred to me that Jesus was likely to last leave the dessert place. I thought to myself, he even knows what it feels like to be the last one out of the kitchen. Indeed, the Spirit helps me to know that the Savior understands the challenges of my day-to-day activities." I hope that through all of this you'll recognize that the Savior's there for you, that he knows what you're going through, he's been through it, and he feels that compassion and love for you as you're kind of struggling through it. I also genuinely think that we've been given trials so that we can help others. So use your experiences to uplift one another, to help someone else who might be going through something similar. I hope you all are doing great. Thank you so much for watching this, for taking the time to hear my message, and until next time, bye-bye guys.